Hi, friends and family! This is just a check-in video to let you know some of my observations and realizations after living in Cambodia for 3 weeks. If I had intro music, that would be now. So, So first off, I'd like to say I just lied to you. I have not been living in Cambodia for 3 weeks because just a few days ago, I got back from a 5-day trip to Vietnam. There was a big holiday in Cambodia. Most of the country is Buddhist and they were celebrating Bachum Monday. Everything closes down for about 15 days. Everyone goes back to their home villages to bring offerings to their ancestors at the pagodas. So because the country was closed and Katie and I also needed to go to the border of Vietnam and Cambodia to get our visas, we decided to go inside Vietnam, travel a little bit before coming back. It was a really great trip. We got to visit a fellow SLM there in Dalat. Dalat's a beautiful city, really cool weather, 55 for a low, 75 for a high. It was really nice. We got to go on a motorbike tour and just a lot of stuff. So I'll post some photos about that later. Great, so let's jump into the update. Just a few things about how my life has been since I've been here. In case you got confused about me talking about myself in a third person, my site partner's name is actually Katie. So when we first got here, the sisters were like, whoa, we gotta give you guys nicknames. So we're going by our middle names. So here everyone calls me Jewel and then everyone calls Katie Elaine. So update, speaking about the sisters, they are really nice. There's a lot of them and they're international, which is wonderful. And that comes with a lot of beauty and also a lot of accents. The sisters are boss. They are so epically happy all the time and they know how to work, they know how to pray, they know how to live, and they definitely give us a lot of time to rest, and they've just been so accommodating with everything we need. It's been really wonderful. It took me about a week and a half to sleep through the night because there's an 11-hour difference between here and Florida. Update, what's my role? Okay, so I teach at the high school. I teach 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I actually teach on rotation. I only teach each class 1 hour a week, sometimes 2 hours a week. I do this to supplement their regular English lesson. They have Cambodian English teachers, which is really wonderful, but it's really helpful to have a native speaker. I can already see why this is important. Speaking without an accent is important, as well as some of the difficulties with when to use what words, especially when the words mean the same. So just having the native background is really important. So I can help with speaking and writing. My schedule. So school is from 7:45 to about 4:30 I get off. I am teaching only about 2 hours during each day. The rest of it right now I'm planning because I realize I'm really bad at grammar and I need to learn a lot about English. I have other responsibilities that will start up, like helping with their Christmas play, which will start soon. It's just all in English. A few other responsibilities. I might be teaching dance during the day, helping with volleyball, stuff like that. So my schedule is still filling up. Right now I have a lot of time, but it's actually really good because it's giving me a lot of time to adjust. So there are 2 classes for each grade and each grade has about 40 students. So I teach 10th, 11th, and 12th. Hold on. 24. That's 240 students. So I'm trying really hard to remember everyone's names, but it's very difficult. In all fairness, Jewel is really hard for them to say, but their names are hard for me to say, so I say it's an even trade. And a challenge for the class that I'll be teaching is that it's mixed level. So many of the students already know a fair amount of English because they've been learning it in school since they were young. However, some of them come into the school late and have no English background, while some of them afford to go to tutoring outside of school and they learn extra English. So the levels are very high to low, so that's going to be a big challenge for me to accommodate everyone and be the best teacher I can be. All right, moving on to observations. So this is the fun one. This is the stuff I've noticed about Cambodia and I'm like, wow, didn't expect this at all. So number 1, there are lizards everywhere. There are these white lizards and I'm from Florida. Y'all know lizards are everywhere, but these things are like white and almost like kind of like a skink because they like go really fast. I don't see any right now, but I find their poop all the time, so I know they're here. Thunder, oh my gosh. I thought being from Florida, I understood a thunderstorm. Heck no, these thunderstorms like shake my room. I'll be on my bed and the bed shakes. It's like the thunder that would wake you up when you were little and you'd run into your parents' room because you were scared. It's like that, but like all the time and worse. It is monsoon season here, so because of that, it rains like once a day. Half the time it's accompanied with like really loud thunder. But it's nice when it rains because then it's cooler. So let me talk to you about the heat. Cambodia is hot, but what does that mean? I'm from Florida, Florida's hot. So I'm gonna explain to you the sweat here, okay? It's like you're always moist. I know it's a trigger word for some people, I'm sorry you don't like it. Like you're always a little clammy. And then sometimes you're sitting and when you are finally just not thinking about anything and you're just kind of at peace with yourself, you realize, I'm dripping sweat right now. My arms, on my chest, like down the back of your knee, and then you're like, oh, it's kind of gross. And then you start doing something else and you don't remember that you're dripping sweat anymore. So it's hot. Another thing that's really crazy is everyone here speaks pretty softly, and I've realized I'm deaf. Everyone else can hear each other except me. If you're in a big like room or something, someone talks at like medium voice level in the back of the room, and the person at the front of the room hears them and they can have a conversation. I'm definitely trying to get better at listening because I think I just talk really loud and everyone else hears at a way different volume. I'm tall in America, but here I am very tall. I think there's 2 high school boy students that I were like, oh, you're like as tall as me or taller. One thing I was expecting about Asia was taking your shoes off all the time, but people here actually don't take off their shoes a lot. It's more of if you're going into like a church, so a chapel, because it's like the house of God. In class, we keep our shoes on. However, if you see someone with their shoes off, it's not a weird thing. Food. So we eat rice, white rice, for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. It's everywhere all the time. There's a lot of fish and there's a lot of soy. There's been a lot of chicken at our meals. People eat fruit here all the time after almost every meal. It's kind of like a dessert. Some of the coolest things I've encountered are in the classroom. A lot of students, they put their hands together like this and they bow and they'll say, good morning teacher, or hello teacher, or just nod. So as a teacher, when you walk into a classroom, they all stand and they either say respect or sing in unison. They say, good morning, teacher. And you like wait there. And then when they finish, you say, good morning, class, and you can tell them to sit down. It's actually really great. At first, I was taken off guard because no one told me, so I tried not to laugh. But it's a really great way of the students saying, hello, we respect you, and the teacher saying, I respect you as well. Let's begin class. Oh, do you guys want to see some Khmer? Hold on. So this is a book. This is what the teachers use, and it's with graph paper. So if you can look at it, it's literally just like graph paper. And then the Khmer, so if you can see it, it's very beautiful. So the Khmer is actually really beautiful, and I love looking at it. I can't read it at all. So let's get into some realizations that I had. Realization number moi, which is Khmer for 1. So I actually am not very good at English grammar. So I'm having to reteach myself and relearn a lot of basics. Also, I talk really quickly and I mumble a lot. I have to speak very clearly and very slowly so the students have time to understand me, as well as the sisters, because many of the sisters, English is their 2nd or 3rd language. Another realization I had is how universal a smile is. My first week teaching, my cheeks hurt so much because I was smiling so much, because that is a guaranteed way to communicate with the people here. A smile is kindness, a smile is love, a smile is good intention. It's important, and it's one of the things I rely on a lot, so I smile a lot. Another realization I had is people are smart. So people are smart even if they don't know English. So just because someone's speaking to you in broken English doesn't mean they're dumb. However, you kind of automatically start thinking they know less than me. This occurred to me when I was in Vietnam. I was asking for help looking at a map, and I had my iPhone pulled out. I was speaking to someone where English was their 2nd language, and it was a little bit broken and they were helping. I showed them the map and I went to like do something for them on the phone, and they just took the phone and did it themselves. And I was like, they know how to work an iPhone. And I was like, Katie, of course they know how to work an iPhone. You're in like a very large city at like the modern age. These people like have their own phones and they are smart, even if they don't speak English. That's just one example of a time I've been kind of caught off guard, which leads me to my other realization is really practicing patience with myself as I encounter different stereotypes and different prejudices that I didn't know I had, but realized in a situation I was relying on a certain view that is actually not correct. So giving myself patience and just letting myself be okay with just being okay with myself as I mistakenly view people, and I have to just fix my perception. And my last realization, and this is really new, this is one I just discovered a few days ago, is that everything here is new for me. Yes, there's the obvious things that are new, like language and food and just the way things work and the way I have to communicate with people, talking slower, talking more clearly. But also all my relationships are new. Even my site partner, which I'm so thankful, she's fantastic, and I got to meet her 3 weeks for a solid amount of time before we came here. But even that relationship is new. The relationships with my students, with the sisters, with the workers here, with everyone. It leads you reaching out for things that are constant. What is similar? What is the same? What is familiar? So yes, I am the same. I am familiar. However, not 100%. Parts of me are still changing. A lot of me is being challenged and new thoughts are coming in, and I'm wrestling with those thoughts. So I'm not 100% solid, right? And so what I've really come to realize is that God is the only thing that's really 100% the same, because he's not getting any new information. He knows everything. He knows all the things I'm going to be going through. My realization this week is I really have to grasp onto him, and he will be like that hold as I experience all these things. Just really holding on to my faith has been the biggest realization, which is something I kind of knew but didn't get to experience knowing until now. So anyways, that is my update and my observations and my realizations since I've been here. I'll try and keep you guys posted. I really like making these videos because I really want to take you along with me, keep you up to date. Can't think of a way to end this video. I'm dressed really nice today because it's Sunday, so this is my Sunday dress. Do you guys want to see it?